Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. This is our last show before we break for the summer, and we're taking the time for a more informal discussion to let you meet some of our volunteers. Joining me at this round table right now are Emania Carrison, who you've probably seen on camera before, and Larry Horowitz, who hasn't been on camera before. So, Emania, you are finishing your junior year at Mamaroneck High School, and this is your second year volunteering with the news show. What brought you to the news show in the first place?
Well, about a year and a half ago, a student from Mamaroneck High School had told me about the news show, LMC-TV, that was located in Mamaroneck High School. So I was really interested in it because I love writing and delivering news on camera. So I was like, I'll give it a try, and I liked it ever since.
What was one of your favorite stories that you worked on this year?
My favorite story, I'd have to say, was when I did the story with a student from Mamaroneck High School. We did the story where we went to the new cafe, new lunchroom, which was remodeled after the restaurant Cosey's. And I went around and asked teachers and students what they thought of the new cafe and their experiences about the new diverse background of what's going on in the cafe.
That was a lot of fun going on and actually doing the reporting.
It was fun.
Now, you know, a lot of people are afraid, weary of going on camera. Have you found that being on camera has helped you in other ways?
Well, it boosts my confidence level up. When I'm on camera, my heart begins to beat a lot, and I get nervous. I'm like, let me calm down. I talk so fast. But I think definitely it does help out a lot because it, you know, it makes you a better person, and your speaking skills become more, what should I say, more advanced and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And you lose the, you become more confident and less scared all the time.
Do you think that this is something you might want to pursue after high school?
Definitely. I love it. Oh yeah, definitely.
So are there any stories you have in mind that you think you might be working on next year when we resume in the fall?
I think I'll have to wait to see what the fall brings us, and then I'll be able to do my writing for the fall season.
Now, Larry, you just joined us this year, and you are a film editor.
That's right.
So this is your first time on camera. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Your 15 minutes of fame are beginning right now, but you only get 5.
Okay.
Tell us about yourself. Why did you come here in the first place?
Why did I come here? I have been a video editor for about 20 years, and I was working in the advertising business. And I quit that after about 15 years, and I've been freelancing on my own, and I had just moved to Mamaroneck, and I thought, what a better place to offer my services and get to know some of the people of the neighborhood by volunteering here. And it's been a lot of fun.
I know the first time we met was actually election night coverage, where you were my camera guy that night.
That's right.
That was a lot of fun that we had.
Election nights are fun.
So what kind of business do you have now?
I'm doing all sorts of video and filmmaking independent. One of the things I work on are called video, like family histories. People hire me to make films about their parents just for the sake of saving all those wonderful old stories. And it's really a lot of fun to do.
Well, storytelling, that's a lot of what we do here, and you get to do it with the pictures. I know that we've used you to, when we have film to edit things, and we might have an hour's worth of film, but we only can give it 5 minutes, which is more than most news stations, shows can do. Is there any particular story you worked on that you had the most fun with us?
I don't know if it was with you, but I videotaped the cleaning of the Mamaroneck River that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Did you do that? I didn't
did
realize.
Yes.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
That was interesting, and the most fun was watching an office chair, desk and chair, come out of the Mamaroneck River. That several young people
Was there someone sitting at the desk at the time?
Yeah, there's a former politician here in Mamaroneck. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's quite something.
Yeah.
Now, do you prefer to do the filming or the editing?
I like both, but the editing is where it all comes together, and that's the part where all the magic really happens. So I enjoy that part the most.
Okay, so you've been behind the scenes. Any chance we'll get you on camera next fall?
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Depends what the bribe is.
Well, we're so glad that you joined us and you continue to be with us.
Thank you.
I know you both will be here in the fall, and we hope all of you will be here in the fall to watch us or come volunteer. We'll be back with some more. Thanks.
A lot of fun.
We'll be back with some more volunteers. Our round table is now filled by old timers, and by that I mean long-time volunteers. It has nothing to do with age. We have Amy Schatel,
How are you tonight?
fine, and
Good.
Glenna Gray, and both of you have been here longer than I have.
Well, yeah.
I'm the senior citizen.
Okay, so senior citizen. How long have you been involved with the show?
I think it must be 14 years now.
Wow.
Wow.
I retired 15 years ago, and I needed something.
From teaching. Is that
Right.
Right.
Retirement was killing me. You think you retire and life will be wonderful. Retirement can kill you. So I decided I had to do something. And there was this ad in the Gannett about LMC, and come and volunteer and come one Thursday. And I did what the ad said, and 14 years ago, and it was wonderful. And it's still wonderful.
And you also do lots of shows on your own, too.
Well, I really haven't done community connections for about a year and a half because I hurt my foot and then I re-injured it and...
And you got busy with some other stuff in
Oh,
your
yes,
life.
and I have 4 grandchildren
Aha.
now.
Oh, congratulations.
And you've been traveling a lot to see
And
them.
yes, I have been going up and down the East Coast. Kimberly, I don't know if you know my daughter,
sure
Kimberly.
do.
She went to the high school, and my son, Craig, he was in Kuwait. He's a soldier. You know, when the seniors at the end of the term, they allow the armed forces to come in and invite them to come into the armed services. And he did that in 1985. He graduated from the high school. And so he's been in the Army and reserves now since then. So he's been to Kuwait, and then he was back, and then they sent him to the Philippines. The United States government is still attempting to build good relations between the Muslim world and our world. And so he built a school. Not he built the school. He's the master sergeant, or whatever the title is, his men. He's in the engineering division. And it was the first time, really, by going to the Army, that he's seen the third world. You know, these youngsters
That's
don't see the
interesting.
third world.
No.
And his active duty, he was in Germany. So now, but now when he has to go to Kuwait and the Philippines, it's a whole new ball game.
Now, has this affected your interest in news stories? You know, seeing the world through your kids' eyes or your grandchildren?
Well, the whole world has changed, not just through my own children's eyes, but as I observe the world. This is not the world that I was born into.
Could this be another type of show that you'd like to do?
Well, no, Community Connections, which was LMC-TV's show, allows me to do whatever, because my belief is that everything impacts on all of us. There's no such thing as an isolated, this is only Larchmont, this is Mamaroneck. No, we are all united. And so therefore it'd be very easy to do something about the war, because absolutely the taxes are impacting
Bring
on
your
us.
son on as a
Yes.
guest.
Oh, my son doesn't like to be in front of the camera. He's a behind-the-camera person.
But we certainly have plenty of community members who have served in Iraq and have stories to tell about their experiences. In fact, I was at a Little League game recently. It was the All-Star games for the majors, and they had someone who was just back from Iraq come and talk to the kids, which was really wonderful.
Yes, our fireman in Larchmont. Is he a Marine? I think he's a Marine. I don't remember what service he is. But he has done active duty at active times. You know, it's really
That's a
something.
brave man.
Yes, but even if you look at the monuments in Mamaroneck of the fellows that went into World War II, there were
Oh,
a
we're getting to
lot,
controversy now.
no, there's no controversy. There were a lot of men
Yes.
from Mamaroneck that went to World War II. There's no controversy about that.
No, I thought you were going to the memorial.
No, I'm going to, no. And as I go through America and I go to small towns and I look at monuments, I said there were a lot of men in World War II. It was a huge amount of men. And this community gave a lot of people in World War II.
Now, on a lighter subject,
Well,
because this is our light show.
oh, this is our life. This is reality.
Yes. You also do our real estate corner.
Yes, I do the real estate corner, which is very interesting at this point in time.
sure.
What's the latest?
It's a buyer's market, most people
We
would
haven't
say.
heard that in years.
Right. It has, well, like everything else, there's an ebb and flow of all movements, and now there's a tendency, there are many, many houses available.
More than there have been in a long time.
Right. And we live in prime area, ladies. If I know you know that, but reinforce it. We live in prime territory in the United States of America, not just in New York State. And there are many houses available, and some of the buyers are waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Maybe for the ebb and flow to change.
Yeah, possibly. And some sellers are getting nervous, but this is the way it goes, you know. So if you know anyone who wants to buy a house or sell a house, let me know.
Do you know why there seem to be more houses on the market now?
That's because also the interest rate, and some people have lost jobs. There are multiple reasons why it turns around, you see. Well,
I just didn't know if there was something in particular, people finding it too expensive to live here, if we were talking about demographics, you know, the baby boomers are getting to a certain age and want to relocate. You know, I didn't know.
Right. But this community always has a turnover, because it's always had a good school system. And once the child or children graduate, many people move away. And so now you get many people my age who want to give up their houses. So you still have another, but then what happens in the condominium area, some of the senior citizens want condominiums, so they're up against young folks who want condominiums.
Right.
So it's a very, very interesting market.
Yes.
Or even some co-ops. It's very interesting, this competition between the young and the old.
That is interesting.
So which way do you think, for someone wanting to come to this community, should they be looking for homes as opposed to condominiums or co-ops?
Oh, that's all personal. I couldn't say what they should look for.
Not should, but what would be one of the better deals, better ways to get involved in the real estate market?
No, that's very individual. Is it a couple? Is it a couple with a child? Is it a school-age child? I mean, there are many variables in order to answer that.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of a young family coming to this area because of the good school system, because it's a great area to live in. It offers so much. And if you're saying, and being a buyer's market, this would be a great time. So if anybody out there thinking of moving, please come here.
Right.
And having said, you know, saying it's a buyer's market, it's only to a certain point.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
this is an expensive place to live, but more lighter side, Amy.
Hi.
Now, we have a joke between us that I basically have dubbed you the queen of fluff.
Thanks.
The lighter side stories,
Lighter side.
which we love. Have you had a favorite story that you've worked on?
So many favorite stories. I mean, I love being here, and it's been, let's see, I'm going on 8 years here. And people say, hey, Amy, what do you do for a good time? Well, Thursday nights I go and do the local news. That's my idea of a good time. I enjoy being with all of you. I like doing the stories. There are so many stories that are fun for me. And fluff, well, I might put it in another way.
Well, I just meant lighter side thing.
Actually, you know what? I don't mind that, because if my delivery, if my interpretation and the way that I like to put something together is something more palatable, that's fine, because I like to communicate. I want to get the word out, whatever the story is that I'm telling.
And one of the nice things that you've done a lot of is introducing new stores or restaurants or, you know, new businesses that have come into our communities, and it's such a nice thing. It's almost like a welcome wagon of sorts.
That is really a fun aspect. I mean, I love being in the studio, but when there's a new business or, you know, new people, new restaurant, new store, whatever that comes in, they are so thrilled to have the introduction on camera. I mean, it's a big deal for them. And I've done over 24 different places that have opened, from
I didn't realize there was that
clothing
many.
stores to restaurants to coffee shops, candy shops.
You did a lot of skateboarding this year also.
Yes, I did. And that was another place, Reef Road, and Fred Tuck, who managed and created a terrific place that's right here in Larchmont. Yes, I introduced him to the area and went over there. But once I got to know what he was about, what the store was about, I created 2 or 3 more shows with him.
Right.
But for a very special reason. He not only is selling surfboards, skateboards, snowboards, and things like that, he has created a shop where the kids can come, yes, hopefully because they have an interest in what he's selling, but where it's like a safe haven, where they can all get together. Some sit there and do their homework. Some sit there and speak with their friends about the latest Tony Hawk craze.
And you know, skateboarding is actually a substantive issue here. I mean, finding a place for our kids to skateboard, and so it actually is news, you know, harder newsworthy as well, which is just so interesting how it all works together.
It does work together, and I mean, and just getting back to what you were saying, introducing new businesses and new people to the area, it's great, you know, to let our community know just what's out there.
And we have a lot to offer.
And they
here.
change.
So much to offer.
And they change. I've been living here 36 years now.
Ooh,
and
I think you beat all of us on that. Well, maybe not. Jeff grew up here.
Right. And some of the stores I've already forgotten. I mean, they've changed, and some sites have turned over. But besides having these wonderful shops in Larchmont, we have a fantastic library. The library
we do.
system in this little town is really fabulous.
And we're actually hoping to do some library stories in the fall because what's available at our local library is quite amazing, way beyond books. It's,
Well,
it's really
Maura,
special.
I did a couple of broadcasts from the library when there were art shows of local talent, local artists, sculptors, who put their work on display. I went there with a camera person and had some of the artists right there that I spoke with. Saw beautiful things. There's a lot of talent.
in this community.
Always. Yes.
So,
and we have
ladies.
so many houses of worship.
Yes.
We have a
Oh,
diverse.
it is diverse.
course. This is a fabulous community.
We're having so
Okay,
much
well,
fun.
this is not a real estate show.
No, we're not
Come
discussing
come
real
live here. No,
estate.
I mean, but trying to get people
Now,
to live here.
wait.
But are there stories that you're hoping to do next year in the fall?
Well, I certainly want to continue welcoming new people, new businesses to the area because I do enjoy that so much. I like going out as well and speaking to people on the street with a question of the week, just maybe a burning issue that's going on in the community, or just something that's very relevant to ask the people on the street, be of any age. And I interview people of all ages. And you know by other shows that I do on
Yes,
this
and I know
network.
that you make your son the camera person
Yes, I
when
do.
need be. You know, we all bring our
he's
families
excellent.
in. We all bring our families in. I've had my kids in the studio. Your daughter has
Yes,
been here.
Kimberly,
you know,
who now
so-
has a baby.
What's
Well-
the baby's name?
Lena.
Lena. Nice name.
Well, ladies, we look forward to being back with you in the fall.
Right. And under Jeff Montanaro's
Oh.
direction,
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that.
LMC-TV News will continue to be the best. I'm very biased when it comes to that. We have the best public access in America.
Yes, we do, and the best team.
We have a
I
great
love
team of
working
people.
with all of you. You're all terrific. Yes, Jeff, you're terrific too. You helped put this all together. And another gentleman, Mike Witch,
Well, Mike's going to be on with me right after this.
someone
Oh.
who is just terrific.
That's great. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Have fun.
And our round table is filled now by our male old timers, or
Pardon
persons of
me?
experience.
Thank you.
We've got Mike Witch, who you see before the camera, and my substitute co-anchor, and someone you never see in front of the camera, Jeff Montanaro.
Hi, Ma.
Come on, Jeff, you've been on camera before.
Yeah, one time before we did a weight section, and as you can see, this is not very flattering either. This shot.
Is it true that your mother confuses us when you're on camera? The rare times when you're on camera?
Well, no, the beard gives you away.
the
You know?
beard.
I'm not
Oh, I
quite
get
as
it, I get
quite
it.
as white as that. She says you need to dye your beard so she can differentiate between the beard and your face.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what
That's
she
it.
says. Right? I'm telling your
You're my
secrets
only
there, Ma.
fan. You're my
Okay.
only fan.
Well, folks, Jeff is our executive producer and director and
Chief cook
just-
and bottle washer.
That would be it. So, what's it like to be in front of the camera, Jeff?
Ooh, I'm nervous. I don't know. I can't make a mistake.
You've been here a long time. I mean, were you one of the founding fathers?
Yeah, I'm gray.
He was the founding father.
I'm not
In fact,
quite. I'm not
I
quite
taught
this
him.
gray.
I taught, excuse me, I'm white, distinguished and white. I taught him years ago in Mamaroneck High School, right here where we are.
So we can blame you.
We can blame
can
him for all the
actually-
mistakes that we
For those
made.
of you who don't know, Mike was a teacher extraordinaire, the media teacher at Mamaroneck High School for how many years? I mean, I meet a lot of
120?
30.
meet a lot of people like my age and older who had you.
Thank you, Maura.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Right.
You're welcome.
Well, we had 2 students that were recently in the Capote.
That's right.
the
Bennett
director-
Miller and Dan Futterman. And the best was Mike found a picture of them from when they were in high school
Right,
editing together,
right,
which
yeah.
is just amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a lucky find.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I'm still looking for a picture of Jeff.
We searched the archives.
So Jeff, what's it been? 17 years, and this is 18 seasons.
17. This is the end. This is our last show for the 17th season.
Okay.
We started August 1st, 1989 was our first show. Roger Norm and Bill Littauer started the show. Bill Littauer was at that time the executive producer of Channel 11, and Roger Norm is a producer of CBS Radio. They were the ones that really started this program. I started because I was interested in graphics. My hobby was graphics and animation at the time.
And computers.
In computers. The Amiga and the Mac had just come out, and I really was interested in doing graphics. But as the show progressed, the years progressed, I got pushed into more of a director's role and producer's role. You know, I do the job no one wants to do. I do the job, you know, I fix the lights, you know, I put all the furniture up, I do all the schlep work, and then all the reporters come in, and I'm ready for my close-up, Jeff. I'm ready for my close-up.
Yes, right. That's what I do, Jeff. I just waltz in, not having done any preparation or any work beforehand.
You
Right.
lie, Maura. You do a lot of preparation.
I do.
In fact, we ought to talk to you a little bit.
Oh, we don't need to.
Oh, sure we do, because you're the regular anchor of the show,
Yes.
along with Sven.
Along with Sven. And where is Sven?
And Sven,
Sven couldn't
well,
be with us tonight, so
yeah,
it's just,
he's on assignment.
he's
He's on assignment.
He's on assignment.
But he'll be with us, I'm sure, next season.
He
This
will.
season.
He will. And he's been
Okay.
here since the beginning also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, Sven was just on Bloomberg TV. He got it on German Bloomberg.
Is
He
that
was,
right?
Yeah, he was. He got a. They had him on. When was it? Last week, I think it was June 2nd, June 3rd. He was
What
on
was he
Bloomberg.
talking about?
Economics. That's his thing. You know, he
Right.
likes to talk about the MTA and how
That's
on
right.
time the trains are
And the budget information.
and the budget
and tax
information and tax.
That's right.
All the exciting stuff. You know?
He does a lot of numbers. And
Yeah, he's
thank goodness he does.
Our number guy. He's our number guy.
Right. That's right.
And what's your role as an anchor? You're not a number person.
Uh,
You're more of a people person.
Well, right now, I guess I'm not the anchor. I think this is my first year as a producer also. And I guess I function as an assignments editor also, since I seem to
That's right.
assign the stories and
You are the one who, at the beginning of the week, sends an email to all the volunteers, all the reporters, and telling us what our stories
That's
are,
right.
and actually giving us some news copy that you
have
garner
found or
from
or-
the email sources and news sources.
that's right, and finding people for you to interview. Sometimes setting up the
That's right.
interviews, looking for, LMC-TV has such a trove of film, but looking for B-roll, for film that we can use in our story instead of having to send out somebody to get it again.
Yeah.
Like we have a big staff to send out.
Well,
No,
exactly.
in fact, that's one of the things that I'd like to mention to people watching the show is that we could certainly use more shooters, they're called
Absolutely.
in the business.
And while we always look for volunteers to come in on Thursday nights, people to film for us don't have to come in Thursday night.
Right.
No, that's right.
We need people who can go film on a Tuesday afternoon or a Saturday morning.
And they can use their own cameras, or LMC has a camera they can borrow.
Exactly. That's a very important point, Mike, because we could use it. The news is much more interesting when you don't have to look at us.
Right. And the thing is, we cover a lot of stories in the course
do.
of our show. So if somebody goes out and shoots an event, there's no reason why what they shoot can't be made into an entire show by itself. Amy would go and interview somebody that opened up a new shop or a new event that happened, and a lot of times she gets like 45 minutes of footage. And in that 45 minutes, you can break it down to a half-hour show. We use maybe a minute and a half. But a lot of what people shoot can also be turned into shows. So there's dual purposes for these
Right, and people
videos.
who know of things or involved in things going on in the community and have film of it are welcome to come in. I mean, we want to hear your stories.
Yeah.
We
And
want to hear what's going on
even
here.
if you don't have pictures of it and you don't have footage, if you are somebody who's making some news in the community, you can come on to
Right.
our show and be interviewed. And all they have to do is call LMC-TV and say, hey, I want to be interviewed.
And you'll be put in touch with the right people.
With the
We've been very
producer,
lucky
right?
in that respect. A lot of the politicians support our show, and George Latimer is here on a regular basis.
And he comes in without a phone call, too.
Right,
He just
right.
stops in.
The mayors of the village and the town and the village of Larchmont,
right.
I mean, they all come in and they support the show, which is good because it keeps people up to date, even more so than the town board meetings, because a lot of the times we take what was done in the town board meetings and we bring it one step further. So it's good to see, and you can see these events right in your home, right in your living room. You can have dinner and you can say, geez, I hope they got that story right,
Exactly. And I have to say, one of the things I happen to like about the local news is that people are accessible.
Yeah,
And,
right.
it makes a difference. And you feel like you make a difference. Now, speaking of that, you guys been recognized.
And I want to say, I just want to add
Yes.
one other thing,
ahead.
too. Unlike regular newscasts where you watch one show at, let's say, 10 o'clock, and that's it for an hour, we're on constantly.
Yeah, we're
Same
on.
We're
show.
on again and again and again. So it doesn't matter what time you're up, what time you tune in, you're likely to see the news.
I'm told by a lot of insomniacs that they watch.
Yeah,
us.
last week. Actually, when I come in, I teach here now, and I find at 7 o'clock when I come into the school, I come into the studio here, and we're up. Our show, I think we have a showing at 7
AM and PM.
and 10 and at noon, and then again at 4 in the afternoon, and then at 7 is our regular
we are
slot.
everywhere. Yes, which is good reason why people who have something to promote in the community can come in and be interviewed or create a little videotape that we can run as part of the show.
That's right. Now, on a lighter note, gentlemen, have you been recognized? I mean, I know that you did that weight segment. That was before my time.
Yeah, I did a weight segment. We had the
That was many years ago, many years
we
ago.
won't mention her name because she's in business, and she obviously failed with me. But it was a lot of fun to do. I had people would. I did a weight loss program where I was actually losing weight for the first 3 weeks. We did a 6-week, but after 6 weeks, the girl got. She said, "Jeff, you're not losing weight. You're making me look bad. My business is going to suffer from this." I am the Al Roker of local news here.
So you want LMC to pay for some surgery?
No, I guess I'll do it. But I was noticed for that. I had the police and the fire trucks. They were rolling up. Jeff, we got $50. Says you're not going to lose any weight this week. I said, "Gee, thanks, guys."
Now, he wouldn't get recognized for LMC News because he's behind the scenes.
That's right, but I did know
I,
that.
on the
That's
other hand, was walking in the lobby of my building, and a neighbor's son, or an adult son, said to me, "You're good. You're good." And I'm thinking, what you're on TV. I watch you. Very nice to hear that.
Right,
And he's
it is.
complimented me a couple times.
That's nice.
Yes, it is.
It is
Yeah.
nice. Well, I'm glad we got Jeff in front of the camera and that, we all got together, and we hope that we'll get more people to come in this fall and work with us because it's a fun group.
And you don't have to know anything.
You don't.
I mean, we are all know-it-alls. But actually, one of the things that I find the most fun, since I taught this for years, is when I encounter a newcomer, like a high school student who's volunteering, and they earn extra credit too.
Yeah.
If I can help them be a little better at delivering or a little better on camera
Right.
or something like that, I'll do that. And we're all here. We all share our expertise with people. So you can be a
Absolutely.
rank beginner and learn and also have a fun social time.
Yeah, the students came on last year. They started producing a show called Peer Pressure, which was a show, a new show that the students put together, but it was based on how we did our show here. Because Cate Fahey and
Who's
Jay,
graduating.
who's graduating, along with Jay Fiddleman and,
Right.
and Josh Rothman, they would come on the show and they would see how we do things, and they says, we could put a show together like that, and they created. What was it? They produced a new show of their own. Peer
Right.
Pressure was the name of the.
Right.
show.
That's right.
But it'd be nice, like if there were middle school students or even elementary school students who were doing something interesting in their classroom and could get their teacher to come back and be on the show
I have
and
to
do a
tell you,
little interview
I
with
have
them.
actually done that. I have filmed students in their classrooms, and I've had teachers come and talk about the events because there are really interesting things going on with
That's right.
with a lot of the kids.
And it doesn't get enough coverage. I mean,
No, it
with,
doesn't.
with the Journal News and even with Sound in Town Report and Larchmont Gazette, there's still opportunity for more information.
And
we
there's
cover
something
good
about
news
seeing
here.
it on video also. I mean,
Yes.
there is a difference than a print photo.
Yeah, and we cover, a lot of the news, people say, well, news only covers the hard news and the bad news. We cover, that's one of the great things about this show is we cover good stories. I remember a number of years ago, this kid was selling lemonade outside of a club in Larchmont, and the money that he got, he did it all summer, and then the money that he got for that, he went and he bought gloves and hats for the homeless, and he distributed it into New York. I mean, there's great stories, and there's literally hundreds of stories out there that are like that we'd love to promote and do a show.
Absolutely.
And I see Amy's waving.
Oh,
What
you're
does this?
letting her
What
direct
does this mean? Does this mean that we're? I don't hear the music. Let's hear music.
You're going to
Music.
direct us off?
This is it. All right, so we,
Well,
so we
thank
do
you
the
all
close.
for joining us. We hope we'll see you in September, either watching us through the TV or come down to our studios Thursday evenings, the Mamaroneck High School studios.
Located just up the stairs from Walter's Hot Dog.
The landmark Walter's Hot Dog
The landmark
stand.
Walter's Hot
Get
Dog.
things started
My line,
around
by the
7.
way. I wrote that line. Thank you.
We get things started around 7 p.m., but we'll resume in September. We'll have a great summer.
Okay. Thanks, Maura.
I think we're run the end credits.
nuts.
Oh.